So today was a big day in news. Today is June the 16th, 2021, and I am Mark Nedjma from Newsweed. I want to go ahead and apologize to all of you right now because I have sweatpants on. I didn't get my lunch with them. I apologize. But here's the news today. We'll give you the light stuff and then we'll get to the heavy stuff. A nominee of President Biden for the Bureau of Land Management collaborated with eco-terrorists in tree spiking plot before trading her court testimony for legal immunity, according to court documents. Tracy Stone Manning did this way back in 1993 when she was a very young woman. I think at this point we should probably be forgiving, but it's interesting to tie in between eco-terrorists and the fact that she's going to be with the Bureau of Land Management, since there are still trees on the land. But anyway, what happened is these terrorists would drill holes into the trees, and then they'd send these steel spikes down, probably steel rod, and then the guys would get up there with their saws and they start them up, and they take the saw and they'd be cutting the saws, and then all of a sudden the saw would come back and possibly hit them. That's really no big deal. Anyway, give her a break. It was a long time ago. Senator Barrasso from Wyoming wants to make Joe Biden a one-half-term president. Actually, him and Senator Cruz put out a big statement today saying that Biden is being soft on Putin, which is really the big news of today, which was the summit in Geneva. So they're saying that the gas line that they're allowing to go through, which Biden's administration agreed to, is being very soft politically on this very aggressive guy. And by the way, Putin had something to say about people commenting on his aggression. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. For one, President Biden had a media meeting after the summit, and he really didn't take too many questions, as has been typical, and we didn't see any Russian reporters actually asking many questions. Biden proposes a settlement by promising more business from America to Russia, and he doesn't feel like he is in confident that there's any real conflicts with Putin. Previously, President Biden had made some pretty bad statements about Putin, and today it seems like Putin was very aggressive in pointing them out in very gentle ways. One reporter from Russia asked, well, who won the summit and what's the score? Well, President Putin kind of stepped back and said, well, we're not keeping any score. It is what it is, and we were here to all make friends with the Americans. But there were a lot of points that he brought up in this summit. Furthermore, President Biden seemed to walk out of his media event, which was after Putin's event, and kind of got a little strong with a reporter who talked to President Biden and asked the question, are you confident that President Putin will change? And the quote was, I'm not confident on Putin on anything. Biden says certain things should not be explained to the world, as he was trying to just say, listen, I'm not going to give you an answer on that. Now, the real big story was the way Putin handled his media event. And ABC News aggressively asked Putin about cyber attacks and how he can expect us to trust him, since so many, a long line of so many of his political opponents are either dead or in jail. It was Putin that responded, saying that really America should look at themselves. They should look at how the insurrection happened and how America is prosecuting up to 400 people, 70 of which were arrested the day of the event, and that their jail sentence will be 20 years. And he was trying to say, well, how can America say to Russia, don't take the actions that you take against your political opponents, when in fact the Biden administration is taking actions against 400 people that were in the insurrection, which was questionable in itself. He also said that America just went through a tremendous time in which an African American was murdered by a police officer, and that other African Americans could be shot in the back of the head. So Putin was very aware of the news of America, and he must have a team that studies it, or he studies it himself. And he said also, after these events, there were nothing but looting and other violations and riots in the USA. He said Russia doesn't want to have those problems, and that's why he's as tough as he is. He said that he sympathizes with the USA, and we don't want the same things. Not in America. No way is what we don't want to see the same things. America was handed its head, basically, in their hands by the situation that Biden discussed. Here's a big thing that was very interesting. Many journalists asked, when you looked into Biden's eyes and when Biden looked into your eyes, what did you see? Both men didn't really want to comment on that, but Biden said that his conversations were proper. Putin said that Biden is very constructive, well-balanced, seasoned politician, and the conversations that he had with President Biden were much about family. They talked about his mother, and we did not look into each other's eyes and declare eternal love. This is a comment from Putin. They never had old illusions of the past, and he said that he's given an interview to American journalists. This is Putin speaking, but America has never given an interview with the president for Russian journalists. So I felt that was pretty interesting. As a whole, Putin really did make a big statement saying that you say that there's blood on his hands, but he says now the blood is on America's hands. And he referenced Iraq, the many deaths from that war that came from the weapons of mass destruction from the Bush administration. And he also said that there's much blood on the hands of America lately in its cities. So how did this all play out? For me, it looked like we've got a major world leadership issue. China is probably our biggest problem, but there's some real changes that are going to happen in America and around the world, because this summit did not look good for America, in my opinion. Now, how did this affect the markets? Immediately after the Putin media conference, the stock market did drop down. But then when President Joe Biden, came and had his media event, the stock prices did move up. Cryptocurrency seemed to rebound a little bit. That's an important thing to mention, because crypto is a cross-border money, basically, place to store your wealth, and that definitely did bounce back. But there was another element in the news today, and that was Fed Chairman Powell was discussing interest rates and what he was going to do about it. He said that there has been more inflation than they expected, and that right now he's not planning any interest rate hikes, but he is raising the inflation forecast. So this sent a very confusing message to the markets, but at the end of the day today, post 4 o'clock, the markets are rising again. So thanks for listening to Newsweed News. I wish we could do a better job for you, and we will find someone that can. But many thanks to Dan and Jocelyn for working on helping us bring the news together. Thank you and have a great day. It's never as it seems.